Railroad roundhouses are an endangered species in Colorado, and Dr. Colorado would like to celebrate a few that survive today in the towns of Como, Colorado Springs, Durango, Golden, and even Lyman. So welcome to the show.
Great to be here, Denise.
Before we get into the restoration of these buildings, first tell me what a railroad roundhouse is.
Well, it's a large building that is round.
Oh.
It has a bunch of different bays in it for locomotives, for servicing locomotives.
Very interesting. I've never seen one, I don't think. But then again, I don't think I've really ever been on a train, except up by Georgetown. We talked about that. I understand that you and other rail buffs out there are involved in celebrating the last roundhouse restoration in the tiny, tiny town, as we're looking at it, in Como.
Right, isn't that a beauty?
That is.
Stone roundhouse, been restored, and this summer, for the first time, they actually ran a steam train into and out of that roundhouse.
That is very cool. How has the Colorado Springs roundhouse been recycled?
It has a higher and better use. It's now a brew pub.
Oh.
The Colorado Mountain Brewery is in there. And earlier it was the Van Briggle Art Pottery, the scene that you see here.
Wow, gosh, that's a pretty large one too. Is it true that you can tour some of the roundhouses, like the one in Durango? Can
right, on the Durango-Silverton train, you can tour the whole yards, including that fabulous roundhouse there. One of the best and most active.
Where is this? This is an old picture, isn't it?
This is Durango.
Okay.
And there is a water tank there. And here we are inside the roundhouse at Durango.
How did the roundhouse in Golden come back to life?
It has now been reconstructed by the Colorado Railroad Museum. They have a working turntable in there. You can push a little lever and, believe it or not, move that whole locomotive from one bay to the next.
With one lever?
Right.
Wow.
It's so perfectly balanced.
And there's a tiny town called Hugo. It had an old brick roundhouse. What happened to it?
That is actually in Lyman.
Oh, okay.
And here we are at the Colorado Railroad Museum. This is the Rio Grande Southern.
Wow. Interesting. You know all about the state of Colorado. It's so fun to have. Is there anything left? Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. My director here is telling me we have another picture in Lyman.
This is the Lyman Roundhouse, yeah. And it's been restored. It's now beautifully restored.
Yeah. How long does it take to restore something
like that? Oh, there it is, restored. We have a brilliant producer to find all these shots.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad they did it. How long does it take to restore something like that? I guess it depends on the shape.
Well, this was years in the process, and they had statewide raising of money among rail buffs. Cough up for the Lyman Roundhouse.
All right, well, let's head on over to the Denver and Rio Grande's Burnham Yards Roundhouse in Denver. Tell me about this one.
Now, this is nearly all gone. You see it off 8th Avenue, over by the Buckhorn, by light rail. Once there was a roundhouse, huge yards for the Denver and Rio Grande. All gone today, and probably there'll be high-rise apartments going up there in no time.
Most likely. Alamosa was a major railroad hub. Did they have a roundhouse?
They did. They had a great roundhouse. It's gone now.
Oh.
But you can still take the trains out of there. The Rio Grande Southern.
Wow, so you're working hard to make sure to restore the ones that we still have left, to keep them because they're historical.
Yeah.
And Pueblo was another big, big railroad town. Check this one out. This is considered a roundhouse?
No, this is the Union Station there in Pueblo, perhaps the finest one in the state. Isn't that a beauty?
That's gorgeous.
And that's Diana the Huntress, the statue in front of it.
So beautiful. How old is that?
I think that dates to the 1880s.
1880s. You've done so much work on this, and of course our friendly producers too. But where can we learn more about roundhouses if we want to do our own little research project?
Oh, it's great to go to the Colorado Railroad Museum in Golden. Okay. They have a great reference library there. They have that working roundhouse that you can actually take a look at.
Very nice. And in case you're new to the show, Dr. Colorado, he's a historian, and you have written how many books now?
53.
53 books, my goodness, and we can get them at any good bookstore.
Right, and Denise has read all 53.
I have. I'm a good student. You can join Dr. Colorado and historian Mary O'Neill to celebrate Noel at the Grant-Humphrey's mansion, complete with snacks, spirits, and jazz. Listen to a history of Colorado's crazy first Christmas and a slideshow on how Denver became one of the nation's brightest holiday light spectacles. The Gala is Wednesday, December 12th from 5:30 to 9 p.m. But you have to call to RSVP. The number is 303-866-2394.